Welcome to another segment of Journal Time. All right, we are going to need a glue stick, a pencil, your coloring supplies, obviously your journal, and a fancy pair of scissors. So please make sure that you get those supplies now. Thank you. Perfect. All right, next we need to walk over to the mailbox system, and underneath that blue sticky note, there are 3 more pages that we need to get right there. Yep, we need one of each of them, and they look just like this. One of them says temperate zone, one of them says activity, and one of them says chart. So please get those 3 things to finish up our journal. Last time we had journal time, we finished up with tropical zones on page 4, and now we are going to be on pages 5 and 6, and also 7. Will you go ahead and take your scissors and cut around those dotted lines, so that way all 3 of these can be rid of that extra white space around the outside. So wait. All right, we're gonna take our temperate zone one first and go ahead and glue that one on page 5. Then we're gonna take our activity one and glue that one on page 6. And then you're gonna go ahead and glue your chart, turn the page, and put it on page 7. Go ahead and do that at this time. All right, up first, we have the temperate zone. And this one's pretty important because this is the one that we are actually in. So if we take a look at the first globe bullet point here, it says 1 is located on the northern hemisphere between the Tropic of Cancer and the Arctic Circle. And the second globe says that the other is located in the southern hemisphere between the Tropic of Capricorn and the Antarctic Circle. So if we look here at our map, it's kind of in between these 2 dotted lines. And if we look to see, boom, Ohio is right there in between those 2 lines. The third globe says that the sun's rays fall indirectly to the surface, but not quite as drastic as the polar zones. So temperatures are not extreme, not very hot or very cold. This is why temperate zones have a wide variety of vegetation and animals. What we're going to do is we're going to color the southern temperate zone purple and the northern one blue. And we're going to locate the Arctic and Antarctic circles, which will look like You're doing so well. So make sure that on this top line here, this is our imaginary latitude line of the Arctic Circle. It's also up by the Arctic Ocean, so that one's a pretty easy one to remember. And we have this whole space right in the middle, which is right above the Tropic of Cancer. And then down here, for the very bottom imaginary line of latitude, we need to write Antarctic Circle, which is also easy to remember because it's right on top of Antarctica. And it is that area is right below the Tropic of Capricorn. So our temperate zone is where we live in. The sun's rays fall indirectly, but temperatures can be warm, they can be cold. It's usually somewhere right in the middle. So those are our temperate zones. All right, next, we need to move down here to the bottom with this activity. What I would like you to do is to do your best to answer these 3 questions all by yourself. And then when you're ready, go ahead and continue this video to see if your answers compare to mine. If you feel you need to change anything, go ahead. But if your answers are close enough, I trust you. You'll show me your journal anyways, and I'm sure it will be great. Please make sure you do use complete sentences. All right, you've got it. You're doing so well. So go ahead and take a look at your answers. The first question says, what is the main difference between weather and climate? Well, that's all about the length of time that they are observed. Whereas weather is just 1 or 2 days or a 7-day forecast, whereas climate is more an average over a long period of time, many years. Number 2, is the weather the same everywhere? What's it depend on? Weather is not the same everywhere. And if you've ever traveled, you know that's true. Even in Ohio, Cleveland's weather might be drastically different than Cincinnati's weather. So it all depends on a variety of things, but it mainly depends upon what zone you're in, as well as the directness of sun's rays and anything that happens in the atmosphere, like precipitation or snow, clouds, those sorts of things. Do seasons change the climate? Why? Well, seasons change affect the weather, but not necessarily the climate, because remember, climate is observed and averaged over many years. Awesome, you guys are doing so good. All right, now we're going to go ahead and go to the last page here, which is this chart. I want you to do the same thing as last time. See what you can do by just filling it out all on your own. Use some of the notes before, and then we'll talk about some of the answers and compare. You've done it. Awesome job. Go ahead and check over your answers here. If we look at the tropical zone, there is just one tropical zone. The sun's rays reflect directly on that zone. The habitat is very warm and wet. Think of swamps or rainforests, and the temperature is obviously very hot because this is close to the equator, and it's located in between the Tropic of Cancer and Capricorn. The temperate zone, there are two of them. The sun's rays will reflect indirectly. The habitat is moderate, some dry land with vegetation as well as some wetlands. Temperature is moderate, not too hot, not too cold, and it's located between, below the Arctic Circle, but above the Tropic of Cancer, and it's above the Antarctic Circle, but below the Tropic of Capricorn. And last but not least, we have the polar zone. There are two of them. The sun's rays are very indirect, as the habitat for living things is icy, windy, and cold, but lots of water and ice. Temperature is super cold, and it's above the Arctic Circle and below the Antarctic Circle. Awesome job. I'm super proud of you. Good luck on this little mini check quiz. I know that you're going to be fantastic, and then I can't wait to see your journal and all your hard work. You're awesome.